as you focus on the breath, imagine the breath pulling you inward, allowing you to sense more of your physical body. Hey, Tori. And maybe even beyond the physical body, maybe as you breathe, you notice the state of your mind. This is the first time you've come to stillness today. Does it feel like you're just this high-powered moving train? So much momentum. Sometimes slowing down is challenging, and that's okay. Just be with that. Just notice where you are. And maybe you're right here. Maybe you've been awaiting this yoga class and preparing inside with joy. It's different for everyone. And just observe your own condition. Let the breath start to deepen, not in a forceful way, just gently expanding, gently opening. Feel how the rib cage adapts as the breath deepens. The bottom of the ribs broaden to the left and the right, almost like an accordion opening. As you breathe in fully, you might notice the chest and the heart slightly lifting. Just take a few deep breaths. Imagine your breath is like your favorite song, and listening to it brings you joy, something to focus on. And then we'll gently start to layer in movement, but the breath comes first. Okay, so continue to feel the breath flow as I cue these gentle movements. So imagine you are wearing a onesie, right? You know what that is, like the little footy pajamas that babies wear, but you've got a pair that's perfect for you. And you put it in the dryer last night, so it's super tight. You're wearing this really tight onesie, and we're gonna start to stretch it gently with our movement. And surprise, you are actually wearing kind of a tight onesie. That's your body. And so as we stretch, so subtly visualize, just like a onesie, your whole body, this single unit, will start at the head, but maybe we'll be able to feel movement far beyond just the neck and shoulders. All right, so we'll start to stretch the neck of the onesie. Just gently drop the chin forward, not too far, right? We're just building sensation. We're not going for a deep stretch just yet. Let the head roll from one side to the other. And so notice as you're gently stretching this onesie, the sensation down the side of the neck, down into the shoulder. Right? If you really were wearing this onesie, maybe you'd feel a little tug in the armpit. Right? Just try to trace these sensations as you gently rock the head. If you feel the shoulder pulling slightly, explore that. Let the head rock a little bit more. Let the shoulder lift. Allow these movements to inspire your own exploration, right? I'm guiding something, but if you notice something you want to explore, go for it. That's the goal, right? As the head rolls from side to side, notice how the side of the onesie starts to stretch all the way down towards the hip socket. As you continue to roll, you can shift the weight from hip to hip. Feel free to allow the arm to become free. And the only rule is if you're going to add in an arm or a leg, feel what that movement does to the onesie. Right? How does it increase the opening and the stretching? If you do something with one arm, explore the other arm. If you're starting to feel tightness in the hips or the creases of the legs, let them be free. I'm going to put some music on, and sometimes that can help with the exploration of this onesie. And this is what we're doing in yoga, right? We're stretching the whole onesie of our body, not just one muscle at a time, but the whole body. And slowly start to make your way back to where we began, but this time you can have the left leg in front. And just pause for a moment. And notice if your exploration brought more awareness anywhere in your body. Sometimes there can be a gentle tingling or just space. Come back to the breath. And then reach up with both arms. And as you reach up, just imagine the sides of that onesie stretching from the hips all the way to the fingertips. And start to reach your left arm up and over, and then your right arm. And focus more on reaching up. Whatever arm is reaching up, let that whole side stretch and open. And then as you continue to reach up, the opposite arm can drop, but don't let that pull you down, right? Our goal is to reach up and over like you're trying to get to the cookies on the very top shelf. You have to really lengthen. We'll be exploring a lot of side bends in class today. And let this be your motivation, right? This lengthening and reaching up instead of dumping and sinking down. And then come back to center, reach up with both arms, and just notice if there's any tension in the tops of your shoulders. And if there is, bend the elbows and pull down slightly, just releasing any of that tightness. Start to float back on the sits bones, grab behind the knees, and pull on the legs to lengthen the spine. Start to rock from side to side, let the legs just follow. And the goal here is to really challenge the core. So if you feel like you're gonna fall onto your back, that's awesome. That means you're really challenging your core. Let the arms release and allow the arms and the legs to move in different directions. You don't wanna move in the same pattern because you wanna surprise your body, right? Just like how a baby learns how to move. We call this falling through space. So let your body fall to one side, let one leg extend. Try to find a new way to move every breath. And then come back to center, lift the hands, cross the legs, and roll forward to tabletop position. Stack the shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees, wag the tail a couple of times. So we're going to talk a little bit about waving and snaking the spine, which are two different things. First, we're going to snake the spine. And so just start to wag your tail from side to side. And notice as the hips wag, how the spine starts to follow that in a snaking motion. So it's like you're drawing an S with the spine. And so when we talk about snaking the spine, it's this side to side movement, just like the side reaches you were doing from seated a moment ago. And now let's try waving the spine. So press the hips back to the heels, let the forehead melt, flatten the tops of the feet. Push down into the shins, and as you push down into the shins, notice how the spine starts to round into the air for cat pose. Then slowly press the hips forward, and then allow the heart to peek through the arms, dropping the belly for a modified cow pose. Reach the hips back to the heels, rounding the spine. Push down into the shins, spine stays rounded. Let that roll forward and just gently drop the belly, peek the heart through, and continue at your own pace. Trace the movement of the spine. Imagine it like a wave, waving forward and then cresting and breaking, and then it repeats, right? So waving is this forward to back motion. Do it one more time. And then when you're in tabletop, come back to that snaking just so you can compare it, right? So wag the tail from side to side. As the hips move, let the spine just follow. Bend the elbows a little bit. Let more weight come to the pinky side of the hand to take any tension out of the neck and shoulders. So we're back to the snaking. And then just press the hips to the heels, forehead melts, and rock the wrists from side to side, relieving any pressure in the wrists. So just some little explorations, and now we will begin the sequence of our class. So return to seated with the right leg in front, facing the long edge of the mat at one corner. Lengthen the spine, take a couple of deep breaths here. And then reach the arms up, and remember, if there's any tension in the shoulders, Taylor and Kaylin, you might want to face the same way. I think it might help. Yeah, there you go, perfect. And so if there's any tension, right, just bend the elbows a little bit, let the bottom of the shoulders drop. And so gently reach from side to side, focusing on the length of each side body, right? Doesn't matter how deep you go, just get as long as possible. And then come to center, rock backwards. Here we are falling through space again. Surprise yourself. Don't worry, no one's really looking. It takes too much focus to move in this weird way to notice each other. And then from center, bend the left knee, extend the right leg out. Parvritajana Shirshasana legs. Bend the right knee a little bit so there's no tension in that leg. Place the hands in front of you, and let's explore a little bit of snaking. So that's the side to side movement, right? It's like drawing a C and then a C the other way, and then the more you do it and the more flexible the spine becomes, it starts to be an S, right? We have these little muscles in the low back called quadratus lumborum, and they get really tight. And the snaking helps release tension there. So as you snake, try to feel the rib cage moving away from the pelvis. That's what's going to relieve the tension in the low back, if you've got it. And then come back to center. Press down into the legs so that it can rise up with support. Great. Bend the right knee once again. Turn to face the right leg. And drag the heel back towards the glute. And as you do that, notice how you can lengthen and lift through the spine. Reach over the leg and then kick into the heel, rising back up. Bend the knee, reach, kick into the leg, roll up. So now we're waving the spine, right? This is our forward to back movement. Just notice how the heel dragging allows you to get more length, and then the heel kicking allows you to float up to seated. Take a couple of pulses. And then come back to center, reach the arms up, bend the knee once again. We're always gonna bend the knee here, right? To just take pressure out of the groin. Unless it feels great doing something else, then ignore me. Bend the knee, reach over the right leg, and then kick into the heel, come back up. So really similar to what we just did, but now it's the side to side movement, right? This is the snaking. And don't let the waving and the snaking confuse you. You don't have to remember what I'm calling it, but just start to notice the difference when we do the forward to back and we do the side to side. The next time you rise up, place the hands over to the left, turn onto the right toes and square the hips down for a pigeon prep pose, but resist the urge to make a huge angle with the front knee. Let the toes point back. So this is like a super mellow pigeon, but we're gonna make it fun. Press down into the hands and lift the knee so it's actually away from the ground, and bring your chin to the knee. We call this pigeon crunch. Drop the knee, gaze over the left shoulder, feel that right side body lengthen. And then we'll go back to where we came from. So left butt cheek down, right butt cheek down. Bend the right knee and reach over the right leg. Take a couple of those waves. And then kick into the heel, rise up, reach the hands up, bend the knee, and then take a couple of snakes, right? So this is the side to side where we're not facing. Great. And now start to feel the momentum. The next time you kick into the heel, notice how that really propels you towards the front of the mat. So allow that propulsion to take you right into that pigeon crunch, right? Turn, lift the knee. It's okay if it takes some time to smooth it out. And then set the knee back down. Gaze over the left shoulder. You can drop the knee, the back knee, so there's a release in that right hip. And let's do it one last time. So left butt cheek down, right butt cheek down. I haven't found a more polite way to cue that. It works though. So bend the right knee and start to lengthen over that leg, taking some waves. Move slower, move faster. Let this be your own practice. And next time you rise up, lift the hands, bend the knee again, and now we go side to side, right? So we're not even looking at the leg. We still know it's there, but you don't have to look at it to know it's there. And then ride that momentum, kick into the heel, plant the hands at the front of the mat, square the hips down, push down into the hands, hover the knee, pigeon crunch, and then knee down, back knee down, gaze over the left shoulder just for a nice opening in that right side of the body. Okay, look down, and now you might recognize this from last week. Kick into the left foot and then bring the knee down. Do this a couple of times and just notice what it's like to put some weight in that front leg. Notice the sensation in the foot, in the hip, maybe even in the low back, but don't overdo it. The next time you kick into that leg, walk the hands in, power into the front foot to slowly rise up. We'll just keep our hands on our hips for this first version of Krishna pose. So the front foot is turned out and the back foot is turned out. Start to bend into the front knee, and if you feel any pressure in that front knee, make some adjustments with the back foot. Maybe walk the back foot in a little bit. You can try with the feet wider. I'll turn so you can get a sense of this pose if you weren't here last week. And this is actually a side bend, so you can just gently sway towards the left. We'll take it deeper in the next round, but right now we're just getting used to the legs. So as the left knee bends, let the right side body open just slightly. And then push into the right leg, come onto the left toe, start to drag the left foot in, awakening the back of that left leg, right? The dragging turns on the hamstring, turns on the back body. Reach the hands back, reach the foot back, and let your hips square so your hips are facing the same direction as your toes, right? They weren't before, so just notice that change. And then step the left foot onto the mat, let the right toes come in slightly. Bend the left knee, and just wave the spine forward. Release the hands down. Shift the weight into the front foot. Lift the right leg high. And then hug the right knee into the other side of the left leg. So you're crossing your legs really deeply. Bring the right shin all the way down. Bring the right hip down. And now uncross the legs so you're facing at the beginning away from me this time. So you're in a cross-legged position, facing away from me. Scooch all the way up to the top of your mat. And just breathe for a moment. Notice any difference between right and left sides. You've been to my class before, you know we do a whole lot on one side before we repeat it. So just notice, is there any upliftment on that right side? Any space? What do you feel? Or just breathe. I know I'm facing away from you and you may be facing away from me. You've done this sequence before. So listen to my words and try to trust that your body knows what to do without looking at me. And if you need to look at me, that's fine. But try to trust too. Take another breath. Reach the arms up. Reach one hand up at a time, just lengthening gently through the side body. Almost like you're climbing a rope, one hand reaches up at a time, but like way more fun than that, unless maybe you like that. And then from center, reach up with both hands, rock backward, hover the shins, kind of like boat pose, but then we challenge it, right? Falling through space, let your body rock in every direction, let the hands move, let the legs move. Try laying down a little bit more, see what that does. And then come to center, reach up with the hands, and now right knee in, left leg back, that Parivrtta Janu Shirshasana setup. Hands plant in front of you. Now we just play with snaking the spine, right? So it starts by curving the spine one direction and then the other. You can use the hands to help. I find that the hands wake up my shoulders a little bit so I can feel how my shoulders are moving in opposition to my pelvis. And then come back up, reach the arms up, turn to the left, hands frame the left leg, bend the left knee, and then drag the heel back to elongate the spine, reach the heart forward, kick into the heel, rising up. Take a couple more like that. And then kick into the heel, rise all the way up, reach the hands up, and now we go sideways. So the left knee bends, reach over the left leg, kick into the left heel to rise up. So same idea, but now we're exploring the left side of the spine. We're snaking, so we're moving side to side instead of forward and back. The next time you kick into the heel, notice that momentum, how it pushes you up. Do that one more time, and then let that momentum carry you all the way to the front of the mat. Plant the hands, push down into the front knee so the hips square down, and then power into the hands to lift the knee, pigeon crunch, knee down, back knee down, gaze over the right shoulder this time, let the left side body lengthen. Now we're going to go all the way back the way we came. So right sit bone, maybe that works, right sit bone down, left sit bone down, unfolding, lift the hands up, turn towards the left knee, and place the hands down, waving over the left leg, and then kick into the heel, rise up, and now we'll snake over the left leg. So side to side movement. And then ride that momentum all the way to the top of the mat. Plant the hands, square the hips down, pigeon crunch. Drop both knees, gaze over the right shoulder, and enjoy that moment. And then go all the way back the way you came. You can move at your own pace once you get the hang of it. We start by waving over the leg. And then we ride the momentum up and go sideways. Exploring one side of the body at a time. And then kick into the heel, reach the hands up and all the way over, squaring them to the front of the mat. Pigeon crunch. Shin down, back knee down, gaze over the right shoulder. And then come back to center, press into the hands, press into the right foot. Allow the right leg to unfold and then bring it back down. So do this a couple times just to start bringing weight into the right leg, exploring the right hip socket, letting those muscles start to get used to taking your weight. And the next time you kick into that leg, walk the hands in. Take a moment to stabilize. You can ungrip the toes and then power into the right leg to come all the way up. Krishna pose. So both two toes turn out, or all 10 of them. And the legs cross each other just slightly. Start to bend into the front knee and then lean slightly to the right as the front knee bends. And just take a couple of pulses, noticing how the knee bending allows you to open the left side, the side body, the hip, even down into the thigh. And then push into the right leg, shift the weight into the left foot. Look down at the left toes, right? So at first our hips were squared away from the toes. Let the hips start to float over in the same direction as the toes are pointed. Drag the right leg back this time. Reach the hands and the foot back for dancer prep pose. Feel the back of the body awaken. And then step the right foot on the mat. Let the back toes turn in slightly and bend the front knee, allowing the spine to release over the front leg. Parsvottanasana. Press into the front foot, rise back up, and do that one more time. Just controlling the spine as you reach forward. Bend the knee really deeply, plant the hands, shift the weight into the front foot, and reach the back leg up high. Give the toes a little wiggle, and then hug the thighs together, crossing the left knee over towards the right calf. Extend the left leg up again. And then cross them one more time, but this time bring the knee all the way down, bring the left hip down, and pause with the right leg crossed over the left. Take a nice twist to the right. Breathe. And then lift the right leg so you're back in Sukhasana, that easy seated pose with the right leg in front. And let's just scooch towards the front of the mat because it's nice to be in the same spot. Sometimes we travel a little bit. So from here, good idea, Misha. Feel free to take a sip of water before we repeat that again and add on. Whenever you're ready, we'll meet in this position and we'll just breathe, right? Notice, hopefully, balance in both sides of the body. And just let yourself rest on the breath. It's these pauses between sides, between repetitions, that allow our body to start to learn the sequence. So the next time it's a little smoother, a little more supported. Maybe you can go a little deeper or just breathe a little deeper. Just take a couple more breaths. New vinyasa means new song. So as the sequence evolves, you can always stick to the version we already did, right? If you liked something in that first one and you don't want to take it deeper, please stick to it. I'll try to remind you because we're a team. Reach the arms up, let the side bodies lengthen. Take a breath here, bend the elbows if you need to, and then just start to reach from side to side, lengthening one side body at a time. And if you've gotten the hang of snaking the spine, you're welcome to try that here, or you can keep it simple and just reach the arm. But always feel free to play with that fine-tuned articulation of each vertebra. Say that 5 times fast. And then come to center, recline back, hover the legs, and just take a few moments to fall through space and challenge yourself. If it feels easy, you're not doing it right. It should feel like unsustainable, right? And if it's not, like lean back more, rock over to one side, make it unsustainable because that's where you're gonna grow. And then come back to center, soles of the feet down, reach the hands up, And then bring the left heel in and the right leg out to the side. Pause for a moment, bend the right knee if you need to. And then your choice, hands down or hands up. Actually, let's all do hands down. Start to snake the spine, just waking up those muscles in the bottom part, the vertebra. And then come back up. Now reach the arms up, turn to face the right leg, bend the right knee. We're just gonna do this one time. So reach over the right leg and then kick into the heel, coming back to center. Bend the right knee now just one time at the side. Kick into the heel, use that momentum to propel towards the front of the mat. Turn to face the mat, pigeon crunch, and then drop both knees. Gaze over the left shoulder, option to bend the right knee. That's not going to be for everyone, but if it feels good, go for it. Look at your cute little foot. And then extend the right leg down and go back the way you came. Let's do that one more time, right? So bend the right knee, frame the leg. Let's keep the hands hovering this time just so the core has to work harder. And then turn to face the side, bend the knee, and snake the spine. Ride that momentum all the way up. Pigeon crunch, and then drop both knees. Gaze over the left shoulder, option to bend the right knee. Just make sure that's not too intense. And then extend the right leg, press into the hands, kick into the left foot. Make any adjustments that you need to, and then power into the left foot, rising up for Krishna pose. The back foot can come in slightly, so the feet aren't too far apart. And then this time, let's add the arms in. So reach the arms up to big bowl. And as you bend the left knee, let the right elbow reach high. And notice any opening across the right side of the body. And then kick into the left foot so you come back to neutral. Left knee bends, reach up with the right elbow, feel the rib cage open, and then kick into the left foot back to neutral. Last time, feel free to pause and breathe. And then shift the weight into the right foot, drag the left foot back, let the hips point where the right toe is pointed, and then option to grab onto the left foot for dancer pose. Kick into the left foot, find a drishti, take a breath into the heart, and then release the left foot, step it back onto the mat, back toes, face in slightly, bend the left knee, wave the spine forward, plant the hands, and now we're gonna add on because you're ready, your body is warm, it's ready for action. So shift the weight into the left foot, reach the right leg high, hug inner thighs together, crossing the legs. We're gonna call this a leg press. Power into the left foot and let the right leg unfurl behind you, reaching it up towards the sky. Take a couple more like this. You can bend the left knee as little or as much as you want to. The deeper you bend the knee, obviously the more intense it is on the leg. So just make sure the knee feels supported and you're not overdoing it. The next time the right leg reaches up, reach the right toes towards the very back of the mat so you've got a nice long stance. Walk the left foot over to the left and let the right hand plant underneath the right shoulder. Check out the 2 feet in your right hand. They should make an isosceles triangle. Just to quiz you from high school geometry. Maybe you remember what an isosceles triangle is. This is your tripod, right? You want it to feel really broad and strong. If it doesn't, walk the left foot over to the left or walk the right hand out slightly, right? So making a broader tripod. Push down into the left foot, reach the arms up and open, high lunge, power into the back toes. And just notice if that helps you open and release in the front of the right hip. Take a breath, allow the elbows to open, letting the chest open even more. And then slowly release the right hand down from where it came. Power into the right shoulder. Let the body twist to the left. Reach the left hand high, twisted lunge. And then as the left hand lowers, start to kick into the left heel, letting the left leg lengthen. Wag your tail, flex the left foot, modified Parshvottanasana. The back heel is up. So this is a modification, but same benefits. All right, let's repeat that again. So bend into the left knee, power into the left foot, coming up into our high lunge, backstroke with the arms, open the elbows wide, let the chest lift. It's nice and supported by your strong back. And then release the right hand down. Bring a little extra weight into the right shoulder. Lift the left hand high for a twisted lunge. And then left hand down, kick into the left heel, flex the left toes and wag your tail, or hold steady if that feels better. Breathe. Now bend into the left knee. Shift the weight into the left foot. Let the right foot sneak in a little bit. And one last leg press. Reach the right leg high. And then as you slowly squeeze the thighs together, let the back knee come down. Let the right hip come down. And start to actually twist to the left. So this is where we started, Urdhva Matsyendrasana, twisting towards the back of the mat just for a moment. And then uncross the legs. So you're in Sukhasana, and now the left leg is forward. Scooch towards the front of the mat. And just pause. In Sukhasana, breathe. Again, maybe you notice something transforming, something awakening in your body. So no surprises. We'll do that exact same sequence on the second side. And each time we repeat it, trust that the body knows where to take you. Take a few deep breaths. And then continue to feel the breath as you reach the arms up, soften the shoulders slightly. Reach one arm up at a time, and again, feel free to start snaking the spine a little bit more here, or not, whatever your body is asking for. And then reach up with both hands, float back, hover the shins, falling through space, test your core, lean back a little more, lean to the side a little more, roll to the outside of the hip, let one leg lift, extend, leg, and then reach up with the arms, right heel in, left leg out, Parvata Jana Shirshasana setup. The hands plant in front of you. We just gently snake the spine. And then reach the arms up, bend the left knee, face the left leg, drag the heel back and reach the heart beyond the toes, kick into the heel to rise up, squaring in between the legs, and then take your side bend, starting by dragging the heel in, and then kicking the heel to rise up, turn all the way to the front of the mat, plant the hands, shin down, take your pigeon crunch, and then drop both knees, gaze over the right shoulder. Option to bend the back knee only if it feels good. And then come back to where you came from, that Parvata Jana Shirshasana setup. Reach the hands up and fold over the left leg. And then side bend over the left leg. And then plant the hands, hover the knee, pigeon crunch, drop both knees, bend the back knee, gaze over the right shoulder, then release the left foot, press into the hands, press into the right foot, Krishna pose, power into the right foot to slowly rise up, feel the stability in the right hip supporting you, arms to a big W, adjust the feet, it's like you're on a balance beam and both feet are facing out in opposite directions, bend the right knee, lift through the left side this time. Take a couple of pulses. Keep connecting with your breath. And the next time you rise up, drag the right toes back, awaken the back of the body. Grab the right foot, find your drishti dancer pose, Natarajasana, kick into the hand, let the spine unfurl. Not because you're pushing it, but because you have the strength to open a little bit more. Release the foot, step the right foot onto the mat and let the back toes turn in slightly. Hands on the hips, bend the right knee and start to Release the spine forward, plant the hand, shift the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg up, and then take a couple of leg presses and choose your depth, right? Don't bend the knee a lot if this feels unsteady, but maybe that right leg really wants to work, then enjoy it. Next time the left leg lifts, shoot it towards the back edge of the mat and then set up your tripod. Left hand, right foot, and then the back foot is the other tip of the triangle. Let the hand and foot walk apart till you feel really stable. Power into the front foot, hug inner thighs together, scoop the arms up, high lunge, and then release the left hand down. Let the hips lower a little bit so the spine can unfurl towards the sky. And then release the right hand down, kick into the right heel, flex the right toes, and wag the tail. Let's repeat that. So bend into the right knee. Find your stability by pushing down into the feet, letting the muscles in the hips activate. And then scoop the air up, coming to a high lunge. Take a breath into the heart, maybe all the way down the left side of the body. Release the hands down, power into the left foot, untwisting, or actually twisting the spine towards the sky. And then release the right hand down, kick into the front foot, flex the toes, wag the tail. And then bend into the right knee. One last leg press, lift the left leg high, and then hug inner thighs together, bring the back toes down, back knee down, left hip down, and then twist towards the right knee, Urdhva Matsyendrasana. We're gonna add on here, so take one moment to breathe, and then place both hands behind you. Place the sole of the left foot down, but keep the right leg crossed over the left, figure four stretch. Man, that right hip worked a lot, didn't it? Give it a little massage, right? Roll around that right sit bone. Do anything that feels inviting here. This isn't to get a deep stretch, it's to nourish your body after all the work it just did. And then sit cross-legged, right leg in front, scoot towards the front of your mat, and we'll just breathe. We'll just absorb that. By now you might know we're gonna repeat that. It'll pretty much be exactly the same, but we'll have an option for Virabhadrasana 3 if you want to take flight, and if you don't, then we'll just do the same sequence as before. Honoring your body is the highest expression of the pose, so don't feel pressured to push too much. Just breathe, just center. Take a drink of water if you need it. This last song really inspires and like an undulation of the spine, that snaking and waving of the spine. And so feel free to be inspired by the music and let it move your spine even more organically, more naturally than the cues have been moving you. Let the music help. All right, here we go. So start with the hands up. Just reach from side to side, but again, maybe the music is helping you feel it a little bit, or the intelligence of the muscles in your back are starting to understand this snaking from side to side. Feel the rib cage lifting and reaching up and over to the left, up and over to the right. Come to center, reach up with both arms, rock back, hover the shins, and I haven't actually tried this, but maybe we can snake the spine here. It would be great if we could make this awkward movement like a little cooler. So see what's possible. I think you guys are nailing it. It looks pretty cool. Way to go, guys. So left heel in, right leg out, reach up for a moment. And then release the hands down and move as slowly. Let's move really slowly. Just gently snake from side to side. As the last sequence is a little more challenging, give yourself this respite. Take it when you can. And then come back up, reach the hands up, bend the right knee, face the right leg. Just one of these, wave over the right leg, kick into the right heel, rising up, and now we do it sideways. Bend the right knee, reach up and over the left leg, awesome. Rise back up, and then plant the hands, pigeon crunch, and then drop both knees, bend the back leg if you want, gaze over the left shoulder. We'll do that one more time, so come back to the setup and fold over the right leg. Side bend over the right leg. Pigeon crunch, maybe play with lifting a little higher. Drop the front knee, drop the back knee. Gaze over the left shoulder, bend the right knee. Option to reach back with the left hand for the foot or ankle. Kick the foot into the hand to open across the right side of the body. If that doesn't feel beneficial to you, you can still look over the left shoulder and bend the knee, or just come higher into your forward-facing pigeon. Whatever is most beneficial. Take one more breath there. Release the leg if it's lifted. Push into the hands, push into the left foot, and come all the way up into Krishna pose. Slide the back foot in a little bit if it helps. Arms to a big bowl. And so before we just took our side bends, you can play there, or you can play a little bit with snaking the spine. And then come back to center. Put the weight in the right foot, slide the left leg back. Natarajasana, kick into the left foot. Let the spine unfurl. Last one on this side. So take a couple of extra breaths. See if you can reach the heart a little higher. You guys look really nice here. Good job. And then step the left foot onto the mat. Turn the right toes in slightly. Bend the left knee. Waving the spine forward. Plant the hands. So bend that knee really deeply. Right leg lifts. Let's just take one leg press. We'll save our leg for Virabhadrasana 3. So shoot the right leg straight back. Turn the left toes forward. Set up your tripod, right? That really strong foundation. And then power into the left foot. Scoop the arms up. High lunge. And now shift the weight forward onto the front leg. Come onto the back toes. Find a drishti. And then power into the left leg. Reach the right heel straight back. Reach the hands and foot apart. And then set the right toes down. Set the right hand down. Take that nice twist into the left leg. Feel free to sway the hips a little just to get a little relief on that left hip. And then release the left hand, flex the left toes, and modified Parsvottanasana, you can wag the tail a little bit more. So we're going to repeat that 2 more times. Bend into the left knee, come up, high lunge, shift the weight, power into the left foot, reach the hands and foot apart, take a breath, and then whenever you're ready, back toes down, right hand down, take your twist. Left hand down, left toes up, wag your tail. This kind of sounds cool. Okay, last one. So option to stay there a little longer if you're feeling it, not because it's better. Press into the left foot, rise up, high lunge. Shift the weight, power into the left foot, reach hands and foot apart. Virabhadrasana 3, take a breath. If you're holding it, try swaying a little to prevent any tension from building in that left hip socket. Then whenever you've had enough, set the right toes down, set the right hand down. We have an option here. So as you twist up towards the left, feel free to kick into the left heel a little bit, extending through the left leg, putting our twisted lunge and Parsvottanasana together for Parivrtta Trikonasana. Breathe into the outside of the left leg. Release the left hand down. Kick into the left heel, Parsvottanasana. Stay here. Or, again, if you want, bend the knee a little bit, lift the left hand, take one more opening through that whole IT band, the outside of the left leg. You can wag the tail. Make sure you're not pushing into too intense of a stretch. Just let the body go where it naturally can open to. Release the left hand down. Shift the weight into the left foot. Reach the right leg up high. Squeeze the right knee in for a leg press, but bring it all the way down for Urdhva Matsyendrasana. Twist to the left. Notice as you twist any opening on the outside of that left leg, just like Parivrtta Trikonasana where you just were. And now place the hands behind you. Place the sole of the right foot down. Figure 4. Massage that left hip. You certainly deserve it. And draw circles around the sit bone. Or just rock the legs from side to side. Give yourself a nice massage. And feel free to explore a little bit. Maybe you want to allow the knees to fall all the way over to the left so that outer left thigh gets some love too. Whatever feels good. And then sit in Sukhasana with the left leg forward. Scooch towards the front of the mat and just sit. Just breathe. We just have one side left. And then our cool down. So sometimes there's that weight of like, oh, what else are we going to have to do? Let that weight be lifted. Just be with the breath. Find a little space with the breath. When you're ready, sweep the arms up. Big W with the arms. And either reach from side to side or start snaking the spine by lifting one side of the ribcage up and over, and then the other side. And don't do it just for the sake of doing it. Try to feel the muscles in the back working to lift and lengthen, working to articulate each vertebra. If you've ever seen belly dancers move, they have so much core strength. They have so much control over their spine. Come to center, reach the hands up. Last falling through space moment, but see if you can make it a little cool. And we're not even facing each other, so I don't even know what you're doing right now. So try something new, and then tell me about it later. And then pause, right heel in, left leg out, hands down, and really, really slowly, right? Because we've been working the spine a lot. Really slowly start to snake the spine from side to side, breathing down to each vertebra at a time. Find something new. And then press into the legs, rise up, lift the hands, turn to face the foot, drag the heel in, one wave over the leg, and then one side bend over the leg. Rise all the way up, pigeon crunch. Set both knees down, bend the back knee, gaze over the right shoulder. We'll just do that one more time. Unrolling, Parivrtta Janushirshasana towards the leg. Side bend. Pigeon crunch. And this time we have the option to take it a little deeper. So pause in pigeon, walk the hands in, drag the hands towards the back leg to peek the heart up and open. Feel the shoulders supporting the back. Feel the shoulders helping to open the heart. Option to bend the back knee. Option to circle the right hand up and back, but only if that doesn't create tension. And maybe the hand just reaches back so the heart can open. Check in with the low back. If it feels too intense, come forward and lower just a little bit. If you want to, you can take a little pulse here. That wasn't planned, but the music just made me want to do this. And then release the hand down, pause for a moment, and then kick into the right leg. Feel the right leg taking your weight, powering you all the way up. Front foot could slide back a little bit, maybe back foot slides in a little bit. Krishna pose. And so we start by bending the knee and side bending to the right. And then if you feel inspired, because your spine is so awake and the music is kind of funky, feel free to snake the spine, or just play with the pulses, or even just stay in the side bend and breathe. You've done so much work to open and lift and lengthen. So try to tune into what the body's craving. And then come back to center, drag the right foot back, bend the right knee, clasp the outer ankle, and kick into the foot to open the heart. Stay here as long as you want. Whenever you're ready, you can step the right foot forward or enjoy your last Natarajasana. Step the right foot onto the mat, let the left toes turn in slightly, hands to hips, bend the right knee, wave forward. Hands to mat, lift the left leg high, hug inner thighs together, and then propel the left foot towards the back of the mat. Right foot walks out to the side. Make your tripod, bend both knees, power into the front foot, scoop the air up, opening high lunge, and then shift the weight into the front foot, slide the back foot in, power into the right foot, lengthening into Virabhadrasana 3. Find your drishti. Allow your breath to calm you for a moment. And then left foot back, left hand down, twist to the right. Another breath. And then release the right hand down, kick into the right heel, flex the right toes, wag the tail. Try to release any tension in the right hip. And we'll repeat it 2 more times. You can always skip anything. You can always move ahead, hold anything that feels good, or just stay with me. Press into the right foot, scoop the air up, high lunge. Feel the chest opening, feel the spine supported by the legs and the pelvis. Shift the weight forward, reach apart, Virabhadrasana 3. And then toes down, left hand down. Take your twist. Try to let the right hip relax for a moment. Maybe even the pelvis softens towards the yoga mat just a little bit. Right hand down, kick into the heel, wag the tail. Take a couple of breaths. All right, last one. Bend the front knee, power into the legs, rise up, high lunge. Shift the weight, Vira 3. Option to hold. If you're holding, bend the right knee a little bit and just try swaying so you're not locking up anywhere. And then left toes down, left hand down, twist to the right. Option now to extend the right leg, Parivrtta Trikonasana. Breathe into the low back, the whole outside of the right leg. Let the spine lengthen and reach forward. And then release the right hand down, kick into the left heel, flex the left toes, Parsvottanasana. Breathe. If you're really feeling Parivrtta Trikonasana, you're welcome to take one more here or just stay in the release. Both are good. Bend the right knee, shift the weight into the right foot, lift the left leg high, and then hug inner thighs together. Left toes down, left knee down, left hip down, and twist to the right. Urdhva Matsyendrasana. Let the spine lengthen and reach up as you twist to the right and gaze over the right shoulder. Take a breath into the heart, smile a little bit. And then place the hands behind you, sole of left foot down. Give that right hip a massage. And then sit cross-legged for a moment, right leg in front. Just pause and breathe. We've come back to this position several times through class. Just notice if the spine feels any more supported, if the hips feel any more spacious. We started our class by breathing. Notice if you feel a more intimate connection with your breath after following it for the past hour. So now we'll have the option for, we'll definitely do some cooling movements and then maybe some deeper poses if the body wants it, but maybe not. You know, it's different for everybody. So starting cross-legged, just roll the shoulders forward, up and back a couple of times. And the circles can be really small, right? Sometimes less is more. So just honor your body. Try to feel the muscles on the back loosening. Keep breathing. Bring the soles of the feet together and just gently start to bounce the knees. And you don't have to drag the heels in to the groin very far. Just let them be natural. Don't force anything. Try to sit up a little taller if it feels good. And then press the feet together. And when you press the feet together, just notice how that enlivens the inner thighs and the core. Take a breath and reach the heart beyond the feet. And then relax. And then squeeze the feet together to roll up. And do that a few times. So you're playing with a long spine, and then you let the spine round, and slowly stack one vertebra at a time. Just imagine you're giving every muscle in your back a massage here. Try not to overdo it in the inner thighs. We don't need a super deep hip stretch most of the time. The next time you tilt forward, feel free to pause and breathe. The hands can support you, so it's not all in the legs. Breathe into the shoulders and the neck. And then tent the fingertips, walk the hands back in. Right heel in, left leg extends. Yes, I know we've been here a lot, haven't we? So take a moment to just sit up nice and tall. Rock the weight from sit bone to sit bone. Just notice what the hips are telling you. Do they want to be here? Do they want a deeper side bend, or are they good? Right? And if they're good, I invite you to just tent the hands and play with that really gentle swaying. So that's option one. Option two is to start to walk the hands to the right, lengthening the spine as you twist towards the bent knee. This is the first part of Parvata Jana Shirshasana. And just let the spine twist naturally. And then you can press the left hand into the left inner thigh, not to deepen the twist, but just to help lengthen the spine a little bit more. Reach the right arm up, bend the left knee a little bit. There's that dragging action we've practiced so many times. Drag the heel towards the glute and reach the right hand beyond the right foot. Let the left arm slide down as much as is comfortable. Maybe stillness feels good after so much moving. You can just breathe into the right side. Let the right hip lift a little. This takes pressure off of the SI joint, so you can allow the pelvis to move with the spine. Ooh, that looks awesome, Mel. We can copy Mel if we want to and just draw some big, gentle circles. So it's not about the shoulder. These circles actually help our spine get deeper into the twist. Keep breathing. If it feels like you can't breathe very well, it means maybe you've gone a little too deep. Just come out of it slightly. Establish your breath and then re-enter. The next time the right arm reaches up, you can push down into the left heel, slowly float to center. Let the arms come to T, palms face up, shoulders slide down the back, heart lifts for just a moment. And then slowly allow the hands to release. Just notice any sense of buoyancy in the upper body. And then rock onto the back edge of the sits bones and change legs. So now that you know where we're going, you can move at your own pace. I'll still cue you, but feel free to do your thing. Option 1, hands in front of you, and just that gentle massaging through the spine. If you'd like to walk the hands over to the left, establish the twist. Always lengthen as you twist. And then reach the arms up, drag the right heel back, start to reach over the right leg. Right hand comes to the inside of the leg and push into it just a little bit to allow the heart to open. Let the left hip lift slightly so there's no tension in the sacroiliac joint. Just breathe through the left side of the body. Feel free to play with Mel's arm circle. And maybe there's another movement. You can play with circling the arm in the opposite direction. It changes it. It's subtle, but it changes it. You can hold the side bend and play with just pointing and flexing the right foot. The goal is not to get as deep as possible. The goal is to just feel as deeply as possible. So just keep breathing, just keep exploring, and hold still when you find a sweet spot. Or keep moving if that's what you need. Kick into the right heel, slowly rise up, arms to T, palms up. Breathe through the spine and just notice any sense of support through the shoulders, through the back. And then bring the right leg in and you can turn to face the screen. And a little bit of time for pranayama before Shavasana. So feel free to grab a pillow or a blanket, or even folding your mat underneath your sits bones for a little extra support can help. And here we are again. And just take a few natural breaths. And you each have survived, which means you've focused, you've explored, You've deepened your internal connection to your physical body as well as your breath and beyond. And so, with each inhale, imagine you're just soaking in the jewels of your practice, the nourishment, the growth, just absorbing it so deeply with the breath. And every exhale, you can let go and soften into the heart. Letting go of physical tension, any mental patterns or obstacles, even any energetic blocks. So the inhale draws in the nourishment, and the exhale allows you to just bask in it. And we'll repeat the mantra, hum with each inhale and sa with each exhale. This mantra helps us deepen our connection with our breath and deepen our connection with our inner self, the ultimate jewel of our practice. And so every nourishing inhale, repeat hum with the breath. Every exhale, sigh. Let yourself relax into the practice and trust the mantra to help you go deeper. You don't have to do it. You just have to focus on the breath and the mantra. Wholehearted repetition of the mantra is what allows you to soak in that energy more deeply. It's what allows you to release the tension more deeply. And so just keep coming back to the mantra. Let that enhance your experience of every breath. natural for the mind to wander. It's just like those moments during class where you might want the posture to be over, but then you stick with it and you feel the benefits, you feel the nourishment from completing the whole class. So as the mind wanders, feel that wish to come back to the mantra, to reap the benefits of your practice. There's 10 minutes left to class. You are more than welcome to continue meditating upright. You're also more than welcome to recline and support your body for Shavasana. So just choose what would be the most nourishing for you and take your time transitioning. Regardless of which you're choosing, keep breathing, keep your awareness on your breath. And if you are in Shavasana, just know that even as you relax completely, the breath continues to nourish you in this way, drawing in the jewels and releasing the tension. If there's any last movement your body needs, like hugging knees to chest or a gentle twist, be my guest. Otherwise, find your way to stillness and just bathe in the breath. A few deep breaths. Imagine the breath shining awareness everywhere in your body. You can make gentle movements, maintaining that expanded consciousness. Feel free to stretch, perhaps hug the knees to the chest and rock a little. Whatever your favorite ways to consciously come back from Shavasana. Eventually rock onto one side and take your time. Just pause. Let yourself be supported. Take a few breaths, feeling that inner link that you've made or you've deepened. And keep that link alive. Keep your awareness of that link as you start to sit up. We'll all meet eventually with hands at the heart, just breathing towards the heart, breathing life into that inward link we've made. Thank you all for sharing your practice today. Namaste.